The Sega NetLink adapter was originally announced on October 22nd, 1996 during a Sega press conference and went on sale shortly thereafter in North America on October 31st, 1996. That's right, on Halloween. This modem would be different than the one Sega released in Japan under the SegaNet brand. Sega used to do surprise launches like this quite often back in the day. Even though the NetLink had been discussed before, the official press conference was where Sega pulled the curtain off the adapter and let the world know when they could expect to get their hands on the device. Unlike the surprise launch of the Saturn itself though, Sega teamed up with Toys R Us, Best Buy, Walmart, Electronics Boutique, NeoStar, The Good Guys, and Incredible Universe to help sell the modem. They originally planned to sell 100,000 NetLink adapters during the rest of 1996. The main purpose for the modem was to get people cruising the net from the comfort of their living rooms. It would be marketed as such as well. The first actual video game to use the NetLink adapter was announced as Sega Rally Championship, and it was originally scheduled to launch in the first quarter of 1997. Now remember that date, you'll see why in a bit. Original plans also had third parties including Capcom and GT Interactive as licensees, on top of other companies like Blizzard. When Sega officially revealed the NetLink adapter, they confirmed everything players would receive upon purchasing the device. You'd get the 28.8 kilobits per second modem, a 30-foot phone cord, and a CD containing the custom PlanetWare web browser. And that was going to retail for $199.99 US. That's right, $200 for that little box that you saw me open up the other day in the other video that I paid $15 for. Sega also made available a Saturn mouse for $25 and a PS2 keyboard adapter for $200. For $20. Now don't confuse that. I'm not saying PlayStation 2 here. I'm saying the actual port used for computers to allow keyboards back in the day. So the idea with all these peripherals and add-ons would be to allow for much easier browsing of the web. Sega also provided a bundle package that included the Saturn NetLink adapter, the PlanetWeb web browser, a custom Saturn keyboard, and a non-network version of Sega Rally Championship. And that bundle retailed for $449.99. Oh, and yeah, you heard me right. Non-network version of Sega Rally. Online games would use direct dial for gameplay, meaning instead of connecting to a central online service, players would use the modem to contact another Saturn out there for two-player matches. By the end of 1996, Sega had sold 10,000 NetLink adapters and would eventually only sell somewhere in the 20,000 unit range during the entire Saturn's lifetime, if that much. We don't know for sure. What this means is that there are tons and tons and tons of them out there that are still brand new and can be bought for extremely low prices. Like I said, I got mine for $15 and it came brand new with the keyboard adapter as well.
Round 2.
It's interesting to follow the history though, as in April 1997, Sega was publicly saying they had plans to make Bomberman, Sega Rally, Daytona CCE, Duke Nukem 3D, Virtual On, Sega Touring Car Championship, and even possibly Quake and Warcraft 2 all NetLink compatible. Keep in mind that they originally said their first titles would ship Q1 1997, and it was already April. On May 9th, 1997, Sega announced release dates for their first NetLink software. Sega Rally and Virtual On would both be the first out of the gate sometime in June 97. Duke Nukem would arrive in August, Saturn Bomberman in September, and Daytona USA CCE NetLink Edition sometime in October 97. Sadly, all of this never happened. In June 97, Sega issued a press release stating that starting in July 1997, 5 games would be NetLink ready, including Sega Rally Championship, Virtual On, Duke Nukem 3D, Saturn Bomberman, and Daytona. It was also revealed that only 15,000 adapters had been sold as of June 1997, a far, far cry from the original 100,000 they wanted to sell in December of 1996. Also, if you realize, that means from January to June, of 1997, only 5,000 NetLink adapters were actually sold, which clearly shows that this was a failed product long before the first NetLink compatible game ever launched. It was at E3 that same year, in 1997, that the president of Sega of America announced that the Saturn was not the future of Sega and that a new console would be released within the next 2 years. From that point forward, June 1997 I'm talking, sales of the Sega Saturn quickly dried up and retailer confidence in the platform all but disintegrated. The reason why third-party games failed to materialize is a combination of the Saturn failing at retail thanks to that comment, the NetLink adapter completely bombing at retail, and the fact that Sega was late in shipping out the tools required to create games using the adapter. And I think this is fairly obvious just based on all these dates that I'm shouting out at you guys. So on August 5th, 1997, Sega finally launched their very first NetLink compatible games, nearly a full year after the release of the adapter itself. Remember, it went on sale on Halloween 1996 and we're already August 5th, 1997. That's like just a few months shy of a year. Many industry professionals consider this the main reason why the adapter wasn't successful. Instead of focusing on cruising the web as Sega had done, emphasis should have been placed on online gaming over anything else, and the adapter should have only been released once software was ready to go. The first two titles available were Sega Rally Championship NetLink Edition and Virtual On NetLink Edition. The games were made available as part of a new NetLink adapter peripheral pack that sold for $24.99. That sold for $99.99, as well as a game pack that included both games and an upgraded web browser for $24.99. Both SKUs were available at Electronics Boutique and via Sega's 1-800-329-SEGA number. You can already see how far Sega's retailer presence had fallen by this point in time, as the NetLink adapter itself, when it launched, it was in like major retail outlets including Walmart. This was a big difference already. On August 22nd, 1997, Saturn Bomberman was released, actually on the same day as Sonic Jam and Sky Target. Bomberman featured NetLink support and was actually the first new released game to do so. What I mean by that is not like a NetLink edition. All copies of Saturn Bomberman featured NetLink support. However, by this point in time, Saturn releases were slowing down compared to the N64 and the PlayStation. Again, all to do with the fact that that comment was made. On October 29th, 1997, Duke Nukem 3D was officially released with full NetLink support and was even marketed as being completely uncensored. Pixelated boobies for the win! On February 16th, 1998, Daytona USA CCE NetLink Edition was released, but only through Sega's phone service and Sega.com. That just basically goes to show you, at that point in time, no one was selling Sega Saturn hardware or software. Only specialty shops carried the latest Saturn games, and they typically charge quite high premiums to the Saturn faithful. This would be the last NetLink compatible game ever released. To give you an idea of just how bad things got for the Saturn, Sega of America announced the development of their next generation console, which would become the Dreamcast, on January 9th, 1998. By that time, the Saturn had no presence left whatsoever, like I was saying, in retailers, and it was considered a dead platform, which is why the North American versions of some, of the bigger games that were released in late 97 and pretty much all throughout 1998 are extremely rare and costly to this very day. The NetLink community remains strong, though, even in 2012, although, we gotta admit, kind of small. If you're looking to get into the NetLink scene today, try and find the games before you look for the adapter itself, because the adapter is extremely easy to find and very affordable. But the games are increasingly difficult to find. And some games, like Daytona, can fetch over $1,000 just because of how few copies were ever printed. With Daytona, it's estimated to be in the hundreds, if, maybe not even 300. It's incredible to see just how far Sega was in terms of technology back in the day, but sometimes being ahead of the pack means nothing if you can't get all your cards lined up. And sadly for Sega, this downward spiral of bizarre mistakes wouldn't stop until the company was forced to leave the console race forever. And personally, I just never understood why they didn't place the focus on the games. Look, I mean, I was into the Saturn back then, and even I did not know that the NetLink adapter was released. I had heard so many different things about like TV stations and this and that, everything else, and I just never even paid any attention to it. I was too busy with the Saturn import scene, the PlayStation, and the Nintendo 64. But had I known, had I seen bundles all over the place with these games, I would have, you know, I would have taken it a little bit more serious. If you're curious where to find other NetLink players, you have to look no further than the description of this video, where I've added the NetLink League URL. And I hope you enjoyed this little history lesson. And once again, I got to give major props to Net Lawrence, our YouTube subscriber, for letting me know that the NetLink adapter was actually released to the masses. Had it not been for him or her, I never would have been able to make this video and would have missed out on an incredibly important part of Sega's history. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this segment.